Hey, so today I decided to do something a little different. I still have some ideas for the things I want to do. Maybe I'll upload another video later this week. But last night I ran I've got a tabletop RPG I'm making, which if you don't know is like Dungeons and Dragons is D&D, or is a tabletop RPG. And so I'm working on one that's hopefully going to have less of a learning curve than some of the other more popular ones. Anyway, plan on publishing it eventually, but I run test games, and those require a lot of thinking and storytelling thought processes. So I'm a little burned out at the moment. But I still wanted to make sure I got, a video out for you guys on time, so I'm going to just do some talking, We'll just chat for a bit. I'll just tell you maybe some stories from real life, that way I don't have to make them up, because it's not gonna put the strain on my brain. Where was it going with that? I had something I was gonna say. Oh yeah. So when I first started recording, I was doing some test records. I like to make sure I get the audio right. Hopefully it's not too loud. I've got the mic a little closer than usual today. But I was adjusting I was checking the camera, and the color was off. It was a little yellow. My skin looked a little yellow. Everything kind of had a tint to it, so I adjusted the white balance, but I didn't have a sheet of paper, and it turns out I'm white enough I was able to do it with my hand. I just kind of put my hand up to the camera and ended up adjusting the white balance that way, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I'm hoping I get some sun this summer, get my nice bronze tan back. So, but yeah, I thought I'd tell you guys a little bit, just some stories, personal stories, I guess. Some funny things. Well, some of them maybe not funny, but I'm saying a lot. Trying to think where to start. So this is semi-relevant to the story. I've been unemployed for the last about 3 years. I've had a couple attempts at jobs, but I have PTSD, and it makes working in certain areas difficult, and then I've got back problems, which makes working in other industries difficult. It is what it is. So that's why I'm doing YouTube and trying to get to the point where I get monetized. So ideally I can set my own hours and just kind of do what I want, work from home, stuff like that, which we're getting close to halfway there, so that's very exciting. But I've had people ask, if I miss working just in, the regular work field. Because I used to have worked at several, retail stores. I won't tell you which ones. I'm not trying to dox myself or anything. But, yeah, I've worked at a few retailers, and I don't miss working there, but there are aspects of it I miss. I used to had some good coworkers at the last place I worked at, and so some of them I kind of miss. And this is gonna sound a little funny, but I miss occasionally, getting flirted with or hit on. I mostly at home, so I don't get that at home, obviously. but it was kind of nice, especially since at the time I was dealing with a lot of like self-esteem issues. So somebody was ended up kind of like flirting with me or giving me, the up and down look. I don't know. It was a good ego boost, I guess. Well, maybe ego boost isn't the right word, but like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe that was what I needed with dealing with self-esteem issues. But like, trying to collect my thoughts and figure out how to word it. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm a little fuzzy. Yeah, so, when I was dealing with self-esteem issues, having a source of, I guess, input that made me feel good about the way I looked was, it was nice. I think it was healthy for me, even if it never went anywhere. Because I'm a little dense. I think some of that's guys in general, and some of that is also me in particular. So I didn't always notice it. And so, like, if women were interested in me or checking me out, I usually did not notice, or I would, and I'd realize later, unless they were being really obvious about it. Guys are different. Guys are a bit more obvious about it. But I'm straight, so that was not helpful. It was flattering, but not helpful. With women, though, usually what would happen is, like, someone would come walking through, because I used to push carts a lot, so a young lady would be, like, walking through the parking lot, and she'd smile and nod back, being friendly, because she's being friendly. And, like, that happened quite a bit. And I didn't really think much of it until at one point one of my coworkers was walking with me, and he goes, "Wow, she was really smiley." I was like, "Was she? I thought she was just being, friendly. I thought she was being nice." And he's like, "Well, she wasn't smiling at me." And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then, almost every time that happened, by the time I turned around, the individual would almost always be in their car and have left. I had a particularly funny one of those. I was working as a gas station attendant. The guy who delivered the fuel was, like, gesturing at me, and I couldn't tell what the gesture meant. So I, and I'd already got everything set up for him, so there wasn't anything he needed, or shouldn't have been. And so I walked up to him. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he goes, "So when you were walking by earlier," he goes, "that woman," and he pointed at one of the vehicles, he goes, "was like completely turned around and, like, leaned out and was checking you out as you were walking." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I wouldn't have said anything. Like, this dude is, like, he gives stereotypical white suburban dad energy. Like, very nice dude. But not the kind of person you would expect to hear this from." He's like, "Normally I wouldn't say anything." He goes, "But I've never seen a woman check out a guy so obviously, so I had to, like, let you know." I was like, "Which car is it?" And he points, and I was like, was asking the obvious dude question, was she good looking? Was she, like, pretty? He's like, "Oh yeah." He goes, I was like, "Oh, well, I gotta go, talk to her." And, like, I turned around and she pulled out right when I turned around, so missed it. But it was nice. It was a good, feel good moment. So I do kind of miss those interactions, because they were always entertaining. Sometimes I would get ones that were noticeable enough that I would, like, there's one point I was walking through the foyer of the foyer, I'm not sure, of this store I was at, and this young lady was walking out. She was very cute, but she looked at me like she had missed lunch and I was a juicy cheeseburger. I don't know how else to describe it. That was the look she gave me, and I was like, I just kind of like smiled and nodded in a little wave and kept walking, because she was cute, but she also looked like trouble on legs. I don't know how else to describe it, or describe her. So yeah, I kind of miss those interactions. They were fun. I think in general, kind of good for my mental health, even if I was a little too thick to realize it most of the time, or what was going on until, afterwards. But that's another, I guess maybe some advice if you're a woman and you're interested in a guy. We tend to be a little bit slow on the uptake, so you may want to, if you're dropping hints, we're not going to notice. Somebody else might notice and might tell us later, but we will not notice. We'll just think you're being nice. Most of us will anyway. So if you want something to happen, I would recommend just being upfront about it. Just say it straight out. Which, in your life, you can do what you want, but that would be my advice if you wanted to go somewhere. It's just streamlines the process a little bit. I also, other funny stories. I was working checking receipts at the front end of this grocery store, and most of the time it's pretty boring. You just look at the items, you look at the card, and you mark it, and out they go. Well, at one point, this, for lack of a better term, group of like 4 cougars came in. These are all women in probably their early 40s. They're very well dressed, had a lot of jewelry. I think they did walk out with a couple bottles of wine that they had been shopping with. But the lead cougar comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, Samuel." She did that too. She did a little head bob. She goes, "You have 4 beautiful women," or she might have said gorgeous. I'm not sure. She's like, "You had 4 beautiful women staring at you. What are you gonna do?" And I said, "Well, stand here and look pretty, I guess." Which they all lost it. They were just laughing super hard, and inside I'm going, yes, I have nailed this human interaction. They thought it was super funny, and she goes, "That is the right answer." And then mark their receipt, and off they go. And my coworker, who's standing opposite from me, he's like, "Did that just happen?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, and he goes, I can't believe you even thought of that." He's like, "I would have froze." I was like, "I almost did. I don't know. I don't know how that happened." But yeah, it was, there's little interactions like that are just entertaining. You don't get in a working from home environment, but I don't miss the amount of work or having to drive to work that a, standard retail job would entail. I tried working customer service for a little bit. It was just like answering phone calls, but phone calls are one of my PTSD triggers. I thought, I'll be okay. It's not my phone. It's a work phone, so I'll be expecting it. And yeah, I was wrong. It did not go well. I think I lasted about 3 weeks at that job before my mental health started just tanking. So, unfortunately, I ended up having to quit, which I guess that location's closing down in a month or so anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. I would have to be looking for another job or doing this. Ideally, doing this. But I do appreciate all of you out there watching it. You guys have been just so nice, so very kind. Like, I haven't gotten a single mean comment, and this is YouTube. This is a YouTube comment section. I specifically leave it as comments are unrestricted, so it doesn't hold any comments. It just, you guys sort of just post whatever you want, and you've all been very nice, and it's astounded me. And I want to say, thank you for being such a cool community. Thank you for being so kind. Seriously, it does wonders for my mental state, going through and reading your comments. I love reading your comments. I love responding to you. I know I'm not always the most verbose with my responses. Most of the time you guys are just saying compliments, and I don't know what else to do aside from say thank you. I will say, if a video helps you, and so you're dealing with anxiety and the video helps you with that, or maybe you're having trouble sleeping and it helps you get to sleep, the comments that, rather than just being straight out compliments but telling me how the video helped, those mean a little bit more. I want to be very clear. I really, really appreciate the compliments. I love those. Those give me fantastic amounts of dopamine and serotonin, and they are what help me do this. But the ones where you tell me how it impacted you, and not just, or basically tell me why you think the video is good, or what was helpful about it, those hit home more. And I really treasure those comments. I treasure you guys. You guys are awesome. So hopefully pretty soon here we'll hit the 500 mark. I need to check the poll again for 500 mark in subscribers. I guess I should clarify what I'm talking about. But I need to check the poll again. But it looked like about half of you wanted another alien roleplay video. You guys seem to like those a lot, which I find they're very entertaining. Sometimes I worry I'm overdoing it with them, but you all don't seem to get tired of them, so yeah, the longer 500 subscriber video will probably be that. The other options on the list, though, there was interest in all of those, so I will try to probably do some shorter videos of each of those. Trying to remember what all I had on there. I know I had a cryptid study. I really liked doing that last one. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think one of them was maybe like cyborg upgrade. I think another one might have been like a reprogramming thing. I don't know, I'll take a look at it again. It's been a bit since I posted that poll, and if you do have an opinion, you haven't voted on that, go check my community tab on my page, and you can vote on that. It's not done yet as of let's see, what's today, 26th. So as of April 26th, if you're watching this, that poll is still up, so you should be able to vote on that. So get those in if there's something specific you want to see. In case it's not the alien one, because right now the alien one's winning. I was trying to figure out why people like the alien roleplay so much. I don't know, maybe I just come across as an alien. Maybe I'm good at that, I don't know. Or maybe, and it just, people just like it because I fit naturally. Or it could be, maybe it's because, ASMR is kind of about detaching and, trying to get tingles and relaxing, and the easiest way to do that is to kind of unplug yourself from reality a little bit. And it's probably just easier to do if the setting that you are in is not on Earth. You can let go of the world if you're not on the world, you know. Kind of creating an artificial distance, maybe. If you are still watching this towards the end of this video, thank you for watching this long. If you're enjoying my content, which I'm going to assume you are if you're still watching this, especially since this is, at least I don't think, my most interesting video. Maybe think about subscribing, hitting like button, comment. You know, anything helps. Subscribing especially. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize. Getting there eventually. I think we're getting there slowly but surely. My subscriber count has slowed down quite a bit. Like, there was a period where I was getting like an extra 100 subscribers over the course of like a couple weeks, and then it slowed back down, and over the last couple weeks I think I've netted like 3 or 4. But I mean, it's still crazy to think that there's, I think as of making this video, like 428 of you out there, that's a lot of people. Like, I probably know that many people in real life, maybe a few more, but I'm not in contact with that many people in real life. So the fact that there's that many people out there watching me and listening to me talk, that's a crazy thought. Like, when I'm just looking at my phone and it's just a number, you know, it's easier to disconnect and be like, ooh, the numbers go up, make brain go brr. But like, I sit there and take the time to think about that. No, that's several hundred people that are just tuning in to hear me talk. It was just crazy to me that there's even that many. That there's over 400. What's even crazier is my goal is more than that. So, honestly, it's so far gone way better than I ever thought it would. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the love and support you all keep throwing my way. It means a lot. It really does. And, you know, hopefully, someday, I'm really hoping, like, by the end of this year, I'll be able to get monetized and get subscribed. What? Get 1,000 subscribers. A little brain fart there. It would be nice, you know, get to the point where I'm kind of making some money off of this as, like, a regular job by the end of the year. That would be nice. That way I can, you know, stop saying I'm unemployed. Actually, I have started telling people that I'm a YouTuber. I've officially made some money off my Buy Me a Coffee. Shout out to Ash. Really appreciate you. If you're interested in seeing longer form videos, I do make hour-long videos once a month. I'll be having the next one out here within the next few days. That will be going up on the Buy Me a Coffee, and that's where I post the links to those. And those are for supporters who want to, you know, support me financially. And, you know, if you do that, I'm trying to work with you as far as, like, what content you'd like to see for the hour long, get into more specific details. So kind of customizing content, and you know, doing that helps me it helps support me, which helps me continue to do this for you guys. And but yeah, the goal is to be able to someday live off of just doing ASMR for you guys, and hopefully getting to the point where I'm putting out, I think 3 videos a week at least. Maybe get a little better at editing. I'm supposed to be. So, there's another funny real life conversation I had. My mom, my parents are both very supportive of me doing this. They know I've been, kind of struggling with employment and stuff. So, yeah, they're very supportive. They're very invested in me doing this and succeeding, which I appreciate. I love them so much. But my mom is a professional photographer, and so lighting's one of the things that's very important to her. And so she was asking me about lighting. I think about a week and a half ago, went out and visited her for her birthday. But she was asking me about lighting for my set and what I'm doing for that, and I was like, well, I'm just using kind of the lights, and the light you see in that corner sometimes is it's a lamp for a fish tank that I take off and I set it and just prop it up against the wall. It's just a flat bar of lights that has white and blue. And so I mentioned that, and just laughing, and she's like, well, I've got an extra lamp if you want it, and you can have that. It changes colors. And we got to talking about lighting, and she pulled up like a ring light that had all these different colors to it, and had this adjustable stand and like a remote control, so I could change the light without, actually going up to it, messing with the features and stuff. So, and she told me she was going to get me that on her next payday, so it wasn't something I asked for, but it is something, I really appreciate. So eventually, hopefully you guys will get some better lighting. I'll be able to do some more stuff with the ambience, and you'll all have my mom to thank. She's fantastic. And I was trying to, I told her, I was like, I can, or asked her if she watched my videos, and she was like, yeah, sometimes. And I was like, did you want a membership on the Buy Me a Coffee thing, so you can see some of the longer ones? And she goes, yeah, but I don't want to do monthly payments. I was like, well, there's yearly stuff. I was like, but I can just give you one for free. I was like, especially if you're, buying lighting stuff for me, like you're supporting me. And she goes, no, you and your sister, because my sister does, she does art commissions and sells her art online. Maybe at some point I'll see if I can find links to their stuff. You guys can go check them out if you want. Just brag about my family for a little bit, but I don't have the links off the top of my head, and it'll take me a while to find them. So I'll see if I can edit the video later and put those links in the description or something. But she goes, you and your sister you keep trying to give me stuff for free, and I want to support you. I'm like, well, thank you, but it's also kind of funny. You don't want free stuff. I think my dad said something to that effect. He goes, yeah, your mom's a little silly sometimes. And she went, hey. And of course, so I joined in, poking a little bit of fun, like, oh, don't give me free stuff, oh. And she laughed. It was funny. Well, it was funny at the time. Maybe, I don't know if it's funny here, or the way I'm telling it, but, yeah, so hopefully, the near-ish future, getting some new lighting. I did recently had some money come in. The Lord is good and provides for me, from something else. I won't get into too much detail, but should help give me a cushion while I'm working on building this, and I've been contemplating turning around and investing in an actual setup so that I don't have to because at the moment I'm doing this in a dining room kitchen. Maybe I'll give you guys a setup tour. Comment down below if you're this far in the video, if you want to see, if you're interested in seeing a setup tour. It's not much. I'll warn you. But yeah, thinking about actually getting like a desk and getting a lamp set up and all this stuff, so I don't have to reset this up every week or multiple times a week, because it takes a while. It's extra processes, extra work, and I have limited doing things capacity. Got some executive function disorder. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. Issues. So if I make it so that there's less tasks and less work involved, I can in turn make more content. Yeah. So I'm thinking about taking some of that money and just starting around investing in it, getting like a desk set up and some other stuff, so I can get more of this stuff out to you guys. But yeah, I know this video's been going on a little longer than usual, but I'm enjoying talking. I'm enjoying talking to you out there. I appreciate you watching. Maybe the extra length will help with helping you fall asleep, if that's what you're using this for. I know that's what I usually use ASMR for. So, I don't typically listen to my own, though. It just seems like it's a little weird hearing your own voice softly speak to you in the dark when you're trying to sleep. It's a little almost unsettling. But yeah. So I know I keep saying this, but thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for tuning in, for listening. Thank you for all of the very nice comments. You all are what make making these videos worth it. And I really want you to know that you matter. It's important that you know that. You matter to me. And not just because you're... I mean, maybe some of it is selfishly. You matter to me. I want you there. I want you watching. But I don't want it just because I want numbers bigger and want money. I want you there because I'm trying to think how to word this. I've gotten to kind of get to know some of you all out in the community, and just maybe know is a strong word, but I'm getting better acquainted with some of you via the comments, and I do see when those of you who are recurring commenters are coming back and you're talking to me, and it feels like I'm making a bunch of new friends, and it's super awesome. And I really appreciate it. Appreciate you being there, and that's what makes doing this worth it. Because at the moment, I'm not making money, so it's not the money making it worth it, it's you. You are. Well, it's not entirely true. I guess I'm making, I think, $5 a month. Because, again, shout out to Ash. Is supporting me on the Buy Me a Coffee, and I really appreciate that. That's huge. I don't... yeah, I'll share this with you guys. I was looking for a place to share this. I just couldn't find a good place, but that's the first money I've made in a very, very long, years, that hasn't felt like it's cost me my mental health to make. So, yeah, it's huge. It's a huge milestone. It's not like enough money to live off of, but sorry, hearing weird sounds. But it is something, and for me, it's a huge step, it's a huge milestone. Just in, like, kind of putting my life back together after the Air Force, which is how I ended up getting PTSD. Yeah, it's taken a few years, but it's very exciting, it's very cool. So, alright, I think I'm probably going to end it there. Again, love you guys. Thank you for watching. And I'll try to get probably something more along the lines of my normal video out maybe later this week. In the meantime, love you all. God bless.